bit of a somber way to start doing vlogs again, but it's probably closest way I'm going to be able to do it. I'm not one to normally. I'm not a person who really wants. It's not that I don't accept it, but I don't want a lot of sympathy. I don't want pity, but pity of obviously is more condescending in my view. I'm the type of person who, from certain people, I will accept sympathy, and I will never go looking for sympathy. I will never go looking for attention. So I don't tend to post stuff on social media like that a lot, but I am going to today because I just feel that it's appropriate. But as of about, I think it was 11:30 this morning, something like that. There's 11:30 this morning. My dad passed away. He was doing okay and had a bit of a sudden shift, and I visited him on Tuesday. Today, by the way, is Thursday. It's the 4th of June. I visited him on Tuesday. That's better. To get some paperwork signed for financial power of attorney, which I had done last month, but it turned out it wasn't done right. And unfortunately, it was a bit of a wasted trip, but it was nice to be able to see him one more time and talk to him one more time, because last night I got a call, text I should say, saying, "Dad's not in good shape, you should come over after work." And unfortunately I worked until 9:15, so by the time I got out there, he was asleep. His lungs had started to fill with fluid, and he having a hard time breathing. His hands and feet were losing circulation. They were getting very, very white from, lack of oxygen in his blood. And he unfortunately was asleep and did not wake up while I was there. Stayed there for about an hour and a half, talking to my oldest sister, and I didn't want to be there when it happened. I just felt I couldn't really deal with it properly. Now, for a good chunk of my life, Dad wasn't there. He moved. Him and my mom got divorced when I was 10 days old. He moved to Mississippi. I don't remember exactly when. I was only a couple years old, and with the exception of the summer when I turned 7, I believe, 6 or 7, I only saw him a couple days a year until I was a teenager. And unfortunately, that by the time he by the time he moved back up from Mississippi to Vermont, I think I was in 6th or 7th grade. So yeah, I was 12 or 13 at the time, and by that point the majority of the bonding years was kind of gone. So I've never been, as close to my dad as I was my mom. Of course, Mom was always there. She raised me, so she was always there. But we did things. pretty much until I graduated from college. We would go and we would do something every other weekend. We'd go to movies or bowling or stuff like that. So we did stuff until I was, until I was a certain age, and then we still would get together and do things on occasion, go see movies, go bowling, stuff like that. But it kind of spaced out and got further and further apart as I got older because I was working and he was working. Or something happened. So our relationship was never as close as it could have been. And of course he moved in with me when he got sick, me and Mom. So we helped take care of him until we couldn't take care of him anymore. But I was there last night, and to just see him in the bed and not, it just hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. So I had to get out of there. And as I said, I didn't want to be there when he passed, which some people might look at and say, "You idiot, why weren't you there?" But I don't think I would have dealt well with it. So I got that call while I was at work. And I'm still kind of numb. I don't know if I'm gonna have a reaction to it later. I had a bit of a breakdown last night on my way home after seeing him at the hospital, not the hospice, but the respite house here in Burlington area. Had another one when I got home. But it's when your parents are dying. There's nothing you can do. They're in pain, and it's like. Was coming, but I was really hoping he'd be able to hold out until after Father's Day. But I said my goodbyes last night and I headed home. I texted my sister this morning to see if there was any changes, and she said he was resting more comfortably, and then I got the call. And like I said, I'm just kind of numb. I don't know how I'm going to handle it. And I kind of realized last night that the last pictures I had of him on my phone were from just about a year ago. And to just looking at that and seeing the difference in how much weight had been lost and his, how much more of his hair had left. Yeah, he was getting thinner up top as he gets older, the same as a lot of us have. But it was just such a sharp contrast to see that, and I had to get out of there, and I was supposed to go over after work today, and I was going to visit, and I was going to do the down payment on the respite house, and I was hoping to get a bit more time, and it just didn't happen. And I'm just gonna have to see how it goes. I'm just gonna have to take it day by day. I've experienced death in friends and family before. My stepbrother passed about 5 years ago. That hit me pretty hard because, like I said, Dad wasn't there, so he was kind of the male figure in my life. He influenced me a lot, and he introduced me to the music I like to listen to, and he introduced me to a lot of comic books and the type of novels and comedy that I like. He introduced me to all of those. And he passed away. And then the two little brothers of a friend of mine, my best friend from high school, who I considered almost brothers because we grew up together. I met them when I think I was 9 years old, 8 or 9 years old. I had I was 10 or 11 years old, and they were, I think, 7 and 9. And I grew up with them, and they passed away, and that kind of hit me hard. Because it happened within a couple months of my brother passing, my stepbrother. I still consider him my brother, even though he's been gone for a while now, and my mom and his dad had been divorced for over a decade. I still always considered him my brother. And I lost one really good friend who had we had drifted apart when he moved, and just this past year I lost another of my best friends, and from school, and you get over it. It takes time, but you get over it. And I know I'm going to get over this. I've had time to come to terms with it because we knew that the cancer was terminal, to the point where he had to stop chemo because he'd get the chemo done and he'd start to feel better 2 days before he had to go back for the next treatment, and it was ripping him up, and he just kind of accepted it. And I wish that it hadn't been so quick, so he might have been able to enjoy some more things. Like I said, that picture that I have of him from last May, it was just before Memorial Day. I flew down and drove back up with him because he hadn't been feeling well, and I'm happy that he and I got like one more road trip in, because we've done some trips. We would go places, and when he moved down to Florida, I drove down with him and flew back, and I wanted to try to do that every couple of years with him. But unfortunately, he never recovered enough to be able to do that. I'm probably going to have to do that coming up soon, because we have to, he left his convertible PT Cruiser to my little sister in his will, and I got to get it to her somehow. So I either have to fly down to Florida and drive it up, and she can drive it back to Louisiana, or sell it, or whatever she wants to do with it, and see if there's anything personal left in his trailer down there. But we got to get that done in the next few months, because it's $400 a month, and I'm not going to be able to afford that for very long. So we just gotta have to kind of figure out what we're gonna do. No, you don't have to get so close to me there, dude. But so yeah, that's it. I just way to get some things off my chest, some kind of bit of catharsis by talking about it. It's going to take a long time, because I don't think I've ever bought a car on my own. Almost every single car that I've purchased, my first 2 cars, I had a Buick Skylark. Mom and I got that with Dad's help. My second car was a van that my sister gave to me, but my dad helped me keep it up. Every other car that I've had since, he had a hand in helping me get, in either taking a look at it, checking it out, helping me test drive it. So it's just, every time I go looking for a car, I just got to think about my dad. But, life goes on. We have fond memories, and day by day.